What up, guys? Coach Vassar, thank you for joining me, OTF Audio Daily Beats. As always, if you're new to these, thank you for tuning in, listening to me ramble about these workouts. If you find value in them, show your appreciation with the information in the comments. If you don't find value in them, let me know why. Give me some feedback, how I could help make this better for you so you get the most out of it. We're looking at day 10 of 12 Days of Fitness today. So this is Tuesday, December 10th. This is the highest rated workout of 2024. This was actually done on May 25th, right after Mayhem. So keep that in mind. This is a choose your own adventure on the treads, rower, and the weight floor. We'll talk a little bit about everything with the key concepts, break down the treads, break down the weight floor, break down the rowers, talk about the 3G as well, and then get you on out of here. So I was saying, this workout was the highest rated one for 2024. The hype was, it was a choose your own adventure style. So on the treads, you have 23-minute block with customizable intensity and recovery. So they choose how they work and how they rest. Either go for tread and base or tread with a walk recovery. In the rower, in block 1, your row gets shorter each round. Then in block 2, if you choose to do extra cardio, you get to row a little bit more. On the floor, you have 2 blocks. In block 1, you can focus on strength with lower reps, heavier weight, or you can focus on endurance with higher reps and lighter weight. And then in block 2, you have a choice of a core circuit if you choose to work on core over cardio. So when we look at the treads, 23-minute block, you're gonna see 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 minute timed efforts of work. They choose the intensity they work for. So that 5-minute tread to start, if they're feeling great, that could be a conservative push. It could be more, whatever. It could be just base. After that 5 minutes of work, they have a 2-minute recovery. They could either walk or they could get back to base. Third option is they could do a little bit of both. They could take a walk recovery and then get back to base when they're ready. This is a workout where really it's so customizable. It's really hard to give any helpful information without knowing your member base. And also think about the fact that this is day 10 of 12 Days of Fitness. You might have, a few members who this could be their 7th or 8th or possibly 10th workout in a row. So they might need to do like a conservative base followed by a walk recovery, totally fine. You might have people where it's, hey, this is gonna be their 4th workout or 5th workout of the challenge, and they're gonna take the next day for rest and then finish strong on the last day. So they might wanna work at a very high level and they might wanna go for a more aggressive push followed by base. So really cater to your members and talk to them in the lobby beforehand so you have a good idea of how to coach not only the group, but also the individual. Treads, like I said, 5 minutes, 2-minute recovery, 4 minutes, 2-minute recovery, 3, 2-minute recovery, 2 minutes, 2-minute recovery, and then they finish with a 1 minute all out. That's the only effort that's actually prescribed is that finisher, 1 minute all out. So that's all I can really say about the tread side, because once again, this is gonna be really based off of your members, your class, your demographic. So get a feel of what's gonna work for them. When we look on the rower weight floor side, we have 2 blocks, 16 minutes, then a 1 minute floor setup, and then 6 minutes. The first part, it's gonna be 4 dumbbell exercises done as a circuit into a 400-meter push row. And the goal is to try to do as many rounds and repeat, and then obviously focus on strength or endurance. Now keep in mind, the day before, if they were there, that was a very heavy, intensive strength day on the floor. So this might be a day where they're gonna focus more on endurance. If they skip the day before, here's another opportunity to work on some strength. So we're gonna see a goblet lateral shift, dumbbell bicep curl, single dumbbell good morning, and dumbbell upright row. Keep in mind, on the 9th day, they had low row, they had forward lunges, goblet squat, and chest press. So if they were there the day before, those bigger muscles are definitely going to be a little tender, and these compound movements could be pretty tough. So just coach with empathy on that part. The idea here is whether they do endurance or strength, try to get to the point of fatigue with good form for each movement. Since they are kind of alternating between lower body, upper body, they should be able to knock out all 4 exercises with minimal downtime. The only thing they really need to do is obviously grab different dumbbells for each exercise. And that might be that quick recovery they need going from one to the next to the next. Obviously, the lower body stuff is just 1 dumbbell needed because they're gonna do a goblet position for the lateral shift, and then the good morning is a single dumbbell. So they're gonna grab the handle, and the cue that they use in the daily beat is you want the top and the bottom of the dumbbell pressed in. So as I grab the handle, also work on pulling the elbows back and pull the shoulder blades together. So pinch shoulder blades behind you as they drive in. That way they get that upper back engagement, and it'll keep that weight closer to the center of mass. So when they do that hinge mechanic, they're really gonna feel that deep stretch in the hamstrings. When the row, 400 meters, push row, and then every round we are looking to decrease the distance, and then how they row is kind of up to them. They could increase the intensity, they can maintain the intensity, but either way, it's a push row every round. If I remember right, getting through about 3 rounds, very doable. 4 rounds, it's possible. If they get through all 4 rounds, then no more rowing, they just do the four exercises until you shut them down. And then when we look at the second block, this is where members have the choice, either a 6-minute row or 6 minutes of a med ball core circuit. So the 6-minute row is done as a build. So ideally they start at base or just below it. Every minute, increase intensity. So 2 ways obviously to kind of focus on this, either use watts or use split time. For a long row like this, my personal opinion, split time is something that doesn't vary as much. So every minute, can they take down their split time by 1 to 3 seconds? And then by that final minute, it should feel very uncomfortable as they do a 1-minute all-out row at that point. Now the circuit, different style, 3 med ball exercises. They're gonna do 10 reps for each exercise, repeat until the finisher. And for the finisher, they choose whichever one they wanna do, either a single leg V-up, sit up with power toss, or the seated torso rotation. If they do the single leg V-up, they're gonna do one side for 30 seconds, and then when they're halfway, let them know to switch and hit the other side. And that's gonna be the second block for the treads, or for the rower and the weight floor. Now the 3G, this is gonna be 1 block for every section, and the treads and rowers are essentially timed up. You have a 14.5-minute block. We're gonna see 4, 3, 2, and 1 for those intervals of work, and then the recovery is 90 seconds. Same setup as the 2G, so 4-minute tread and then 90-second walk recovery, or 90 seconds at base. They could also walk and get back to base when they're ready, and then adjust the intensity as they need during those treads for work. Now the rower, they also have a choice here. So they're gonna do a 4-minute row, and then they could either go to a base row for those 90 seconds that treads are recovering, or they could do a body weight exercise and then get back to base. The body weight exercise is gonna be an alternating forward lunge with overhead reach. So as they step forward, arms reach out. As I step back and come back to that standing position, hands drop. If lunges are not gonna happen, if they choose to squatting and then reaching up is pretty tough, requires a lot of mobility through the shoulder. So if anything, they could do a squat, and then when they stand up, reach overhead. Same thing, 4 minutes of work, 90 seconds to recover, 3, 2, and then a 1-minute all out. Now the weight floor, the circuit is very similar, but there are gonna be some added changes to this. We're not gonna use any med balls on this side, but they're gonna see the same lateral shift, dumbbell bicep curl, good morning, upright row, but then there's also the additional 2 core movements. The first one is a sit up with shoulder press, and then the dumbbell floor seated torso rotation. Now the sit up with the shoulder press, they're gonna use 1 dumbbell, hold it sideways. They start at the chest when they're laying flat. As they sit up, they press that weight up. They don't have to go super heavy, because part of that is that control of the shoulder as they reach up, as they use their core to pull up. Same thing though, endurance, 12 to 20 reps, light to moderate weight. Strength focus, 6 to 10 reps, moderate to heavy. Circuit style, so obviously, lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body, 2 core movements. One is flexion, extension. The other one is rotation. Rest if they need to, but in all honesty, they might not need to, and that's totally fine. Finisher, same thing. They choose whichever exercise they want to do for the final minute. For the 3G, there are no single side movements, so they'll just rep out that entire minute straight. They don't have to switch halfway or anything like that. because with the lateral shift and the torso rotation, they are alternating for every rep anyways. That's day 10. Choose your own adventure. So endurance across the board for the treads, rower, weight floor. If you had people who did this back on May 25th, have them look at their summary screen from back then and see if they could, compare, contrast, and see how they feel. There you go. Any feedback, let me know. Otherwise, coach it down.